to mystery or to the forbidden is shared across generations, a legacy of images and motifs that has traveled through centuries of human experience. The shadow, the animus, the anima, the hero, the guardian. They are all present in the theater of your fantasy. Your private longings are threads woven into a tapestry of collective human experience. Yet the most profound lesson is this: the unconscious is not merely descriptive, it is anticipatory. It is not content to catalog your past wounds. It calls attention to what must be integrated, transformed, or expressed in your life yet to come. Desire is therefore a compass, pointing not just backward, but forward. What excites you in secret is signaling a path, an unfolding of your potential, an invitation to grow. To ignore it is to deny a part of your destiny. To embrace it is to step into a deeper alignment with the totality of your being. Imagine sitting with these truths, unflinching. Each fantasy, each longing, each impulse becomes a doorway into understanding the fractures and the potential within you. The guilt that may arise is not condemnation, but awareness. The shame is not punishment, but recognition. And the liberation, the profound, quiet liberation, comes when you see your desire as a teacher rather than a transgression. Every attraction, every secret craving is a key turning in the lock of your own psyche, unlocking doors you have long feared to approach. The courage to explore these impulses is the courage to confront your shadow. And once confronted, the shadow does not dominate, it informs. The darkness is no longer a prison. It becomes a guide, showing where integration is needed, where acceptance is transformative. To meet the desires that unsettle you is to meet the most honest reflections of your own soul, and in that meeting, you discover a power, clarity, and self-knowledge that cannot be gained through surface living or social conformity. Your erotic imagination, your secret longings, your unspoken cravings, these are the sincerest X-ray of your inner self. They bypass social pretense, moral posturing, and self-deception. They reveal, without compromise, the complexities of your identity, your vulnerabilities, your unmet needs, and your deepest potentials. To deny them is to deny the truth of your own existence. To acknowledge them is to begin the profound journey of self-integration. And now, as you sit with this, feel the magnitude. Your desires are not trivial, not shameful, not accidents. They are sacred cartographies of your unconscious, maps drawn by your own soul, waiting to guide you toward wholeness, insight, and liberation. Every spark of attraction, every pulse of longing, every scenario that ignites you in silence is a conversation with your deepest self. A conversation that, if you listen closely, will not only reveal who you are, but also illuminate who you are becoming. Your desire isn't random, and it's not just a passing thought. Every spark of attraction, every vivid image, every whisper of longing is sending a message you've been avoiding. You might joke about your fantasies, hide them in shame, or call them imagination. But your body and mind tell the truth. They reveal what even your reflection won't admit. The most striking part? Your desires aren't simple urges, they are secret confessions of your own soul. Carl Jung taught that the things which awaken your passion are fragments of the shadow you have hidden, sometimes for decades. Consider this. What if the images that stir you, the impulses you pursue in secret, were a map of your unconscious mind? What if the fantasies you have deemed private, meaningless, or just a phase, are in reality tracings of wounds, voids, fears, and unfulfilled longings that define you more than you dare to acknowledge? What lies beneath your sheets is louder than the words you speak, and the sensations that excite you today could be the key to the self you have yet to confront. This is not a comfort you will relish, nor is it a reflection you can easily admire. It is a revelation, a truth your psyche insists you face. Sexual desire, Jung argued, is far more than the pursuit of pleasure. It is a language of the unconscious, a mirror to the parts of yourself that you have denied, ignored, or repressed. Think of the person who is drawn to what is forbidden. It is not merely rebellion or lust. It is the psyche's urgent plea for liberation. The soul trapped in rules, suffocated by societal expectations, seeks release in the clandestine spaces of the imagination. Desire becomes a valve, a secret corridor where freedom is permitted, and the moral strictures that govern daily life dissolve. The tension between imposed morality and inner nature awakens a hunger that cannot be satisfied by words or reasoning. It demands expression, and it finds it in fantasy. Or consider those whose fantasies revolve around control, those who impose dominance upon their partners. This is seldom simple power for power's sake. More often, it is compensation for vulnerability in the outer world, a stage upon which they can reclaim authority denied to them in waking life. And those who crave submission carry burdens too heavy to bear alone. Their yearning is not weakness, but a call for relief, a temporary surrender that allows them to feel unshackled from the weight of responsibility. In both cases, desire becomes a theater for negotiating the hidden dynamics of power, fear, and resilience. Your body betrays the truths your mind suppresses. What you deny, what you pretend not to feel, is inscribed in your impulses. Every preference, every repeated fantasy, is an encrypted message from the unconscious. It is symbolic, not literal. It speaks in gestures, scenarios, and archetypal patterns rather than words. To attend to these desires is to confront the shadow within. The repository of fears, deficiencies, and yearnings your waking consciousness refuses to acknowledge. Consider the attraction to pain, to marks, to control, or surrender. To some, this is a simple erotic game, yet Jung saw it differently. To inflict pain is not always cruelty. It can be a manifestation of struggling with impotence, a rehearsal of reclaiming the strength one feels deprived of in daily life. To receive pain is not mere masochism. It is a dialogue with deep emotional wounds seeking acknowledgement, a silent cry made tangible through the body. Even tenderness, so often associated with care and love, may conceal its own psychological inversions. Those who long for overwhelming softness may have known coldness, deprivation, or neglect. Their desire is a search for the warmth, validation, and safety they were denied. Every erotic impulse is a symbolic retelling of personal history, a translation of past suffering into the language of intimacy. But desire does not exist in isolation. Jung taught that our sexual fantasies intersect with archetypes, universal patterns carried across generations. When you are drawn to authority figures, it is not merely hierarchy you crave. It is the archetype of the father, the guardian, the lawgiver. When you are drawn to innocence, it is the archetype of the protector or savior, seeking to repair the fractures of your own past. Even the attraction to the mysterious, the masked, the unknown, reflects the shadow archetype. What you deny in yourself is mirrored in the enigma you pursue in others. And then there is the eternal pull toward completion, toward the other who awakens within you something unnameable. The animus, the feminine within the man, the anima, the masculine within the woman. These are not poetic metaphors, but psychic realities. Desire is the bridge toward wholeness, toward integrating the parts of yourself that remain hidden or incomplete. The one you crave is not simply a lover. They are the reflection of the fragment you seek to reclaim. This is the magnitude of unconscious desire. It is personal and collective, historical and eternal, a language that predates your existence and extends beyond it. Every impulse, every attraction is a dialogue between your consciousness and the depths of the psyche. Are you free in what you desire, or are you merely inheriting scripts encoded in your blood long before your birth? And beyond inheritance lies prophecy. The unconscious does not only speak of past wounds or ancestral patterns, it anticipates. Fantasies are beacons, signaling the psychic shifts and transformations awaiting you. A repeated longing may indicate a call for recognition, a rehearsal for emerging into your future self. Concealment, invisibility, the desire to vanish. These two are rehearsals, preparing the psyche for the realities yet to unfold. Your desire is not a simple pleasure, it is a compass, a map drawn in symbols, a mirror reflecting your contradictions, fears, and unspoken needs. While society applauds control, order, and propriety, your fantasies reveal the unmasked self, unashamed, unfiltered, unhidden. They leak truths that morality, religion, and tradition cannot suppress. The journey through these inner landscapes is not a mere psychological analysis. It is an initiation into self-recognition. And so, the decisive question emerges: will you deny the revelations of your desire, or will you embrace them, integrate them, and allow them to transform the course of your life? To acknowledge your impulses is not weakness, it is courage. To decipher your fantasies is to read the secret diary of your soul. Each impulse is a key, each image a door, each longing a mirror. Within them lies not only what you have concealed, but the essence of what you are destined to become. Your desire is not an adversary. It is the key to the cell in which you have been imprisoned by your own consciousness. To confront it is to confront your shadow, and once this gaze is held, nothing remains the same. It is liberation wrapped in discomfort, revelation draped in vulnerability, and ultimately, the only path to genuine self-knowledge. Your longing is sacred, profound, and unassailable. It is the voice of your deepest self, waiting, always, to be heard. And now, consider this. The fantasies that haunt you, that thrill you in secrecy, are not just echoes of what you have been. They are murmurs of what you are becoming. The unconscious does not merely replay old dramas. It scripts the future, drawing trajectories invisible to the waking mind. When you are drawn to being observed, to the gaze of another, it is not exhibitionism alone. It is a psychic rehearsal, a subtle insistence that your presence be acknowledged in the world outside. Conversely, when you fantasize about hiding, slipping into shadows, it is a prophecy of retreat, a necessary protection against the devouring glare of exposure that life may soon demand. Desire acts as both warning and guide, mapping the landscape of your psyche with unerring precision. The paradox is striking. While you labor to craft a socially acceptable self, meticulously controlling words, gestures, and appearances, your desires move untamed, unmediated by morality or convention. They speak with a candor that your conscious mind cannot match. Every attraction, every secret longing lays bare the contours of your true self, revealing fissures, contradictions, and hidden longings. Here lies the uncomfortable truth. The self you present to the world is often a mask, while your sexual imagination is the unmasked reality of who you are. And yet, there is hope in this revelation. To confront desire is to meet the teacher in disguise. Each fantasy is not an accusation or a vice. It is a guide, pointing toward integration, toward wholeness. The impulses that shame you, that provoke guilt or confusion, are not enemies. They are signals, messages from the psyche that something essential has been ignored, denied, or repressed. The moment you attend to them with curiosity rather than judgment, they begin to transform from silent tyrants into allies in self-understanding. Look closer. The one who craves multiplicity, who conjures figures in fantasy not to escape loyalty, but to fill an inner void, is enacting a symbolic quest for wholeness. The one who longs for tenderness is seeking the nurture they lacked. The one who desires dominance or submission is negotiating power lost and power reclaimed. Desire becomes the theater in which your soul enacts dramas too complex, too subtle, to be expressed in ordinary life. It is the raw language of the psyche, where symbols speak louder than reason, and emotions communicate more clearly than words. There is a universality here that cannot be ignored. Your desires are not isolated. They resonate with ancestral patterns, with archetypes older than memory. The attraction to authority, to innocence,